Miss Eliza Worthington was once the toast of London's elite, her family wealth as vast as their social circle. But when her father, a man with a penchant for poor investments, lost the family fortune, Eliza found herself in a very different world, a world where she had to work. Undeterred by the change in circumstances, Eliza had always been practical, and she found solace in a small pottery business. Her talent for painting intricate designs on delicate porcelain pieces was well known, and soon she became an indispensable part of the shop. The owner of the pottery, Mr. Theodore Bramble, was a man of great ambition but less grace. He ran the business with good intentions, though his clumsy ways often led to misadventures. He once broke a vase that Eliza had spent hours painting, and on more than one occasion his foot had caught the edge of a shelf, sending fragile creations crashing to the ground. Yet, every time he saw Eliza, his heart seemed to skip a beat. There was something about her that made him forget his normally meticulous nature. He only seemed to grow more accident-prone around her. Despite his endearing clumsiness, Theodore had come to admire Eliza greatly, not only for her artistry, but for her unshakable spirit. He found himself falling in love with her, though he had no idea how to express it. His words often failed him, and more than once, he nearly knocked over another shelf while trying to speak to her. One day, Theodore gathered his courage and invited her to a picnic. He promised it would be a simple affair, but it was his first attempt at a date, and he was nervous. Eliza, ever witty, accepted the invitation with a twinkle in her eye, already planning her own response to his endearing awkwardness. On the day of the picnic, Eliza arrived with a basket of food she had prepared herself. She knew well that Theodore had an unfortunate tendency to destroy anything delicate, so she cleverly packed all the food in wooden dishes, certain that they would be safe from any accidents. When Theodore saw her, his face lit up, but his usual clumsiness seemed to amplify. "I fear I am a poor picnic companion," he said, attempting to adjust the blanket but instead tripping over his own feet. "Not at all," Eliza replied, handing him a wooden bowl with a smile. "I find your company quite delightful, though I have come prepared just in case." She gestured to the wooden dishes, and they both laughed at the subtle jest. As they shared their meal, the conversation turned naturally to the subject of art. Theodore, ever so earnest, confessed that he had admired Eliza's work since the first moment he saw her at the pottery shop. "Your talent is unparalleled," he said, his voice low with emotion. "But it is more than that. I admire your resilience, your grace, your heart. I fear I cannot help but fall in love with you, Eliza." Eliza smiled warmly, her heart fluttering at his words. She had grown fond of him too, despite his many accidents and his sometimes misguided attempts to win her affection. She took a deep breath, feeling a swell of affection for him. "Theodore, you have no idea how often I have admired your perseverance," she said, her voice soft but firm. "And your kindness. You may not always keep your balance, but you have a steady heart." Theodore reached out, his hand trembling slightly. "Eliza, would you consider making me the happiest man alive? Will you allow me to love you?" Eliza's smile widened and she leaned forward to take his hand in hers. "I already have, Theodore. I think I have for quite some time." The moment was quiet, with only the gentle rustle of leaves in the breeze and the soft clink of a wooden bowl shifting on the grass. They didn't need to say more. Their hearts had already spoken. And so, they spent the rest of the afternoon in each other's company, the warmth of their mutual affection blooming as steadily as the pottery Eliza painted. There was no need for grand declarations or an elaborate wedding, just a simple, sweet acknowledgement of what they both knew to be true. Their love, like the pottery, was delicate, but it was theirs, and it would last.